Hi, how are you? I've not seen you in a month. Well, get your paints out because you and I are going to paint a magnolia. The petals are going to be white, so we do need to make some shadows. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to mix permanent alizarin crimson, which is PR206, with phthalo green, which is PG7. This will produce a really nice warm grey. So why don't you get out your paints, get some grey mixed up, and we're going to paint this magnolia tree. For this particular painting, it's going to be a white magnolia, and the shadows are going to be composed of greys, warm greys. And these are the colours we're going to use. We're going to use permanent alizarin crimson, which is right here. We've got Antwerp blue. We've got what is known as a convenience colour right here, sap green. And it's convenient because the term means the manufacturer got to sell you another tube of paint and he mixed it for you. And he called it a convenience colour. Here we have Windsor green, and then I have over here a yellow. I'm going to predominantly make my petals from this. I'm going to have the permanent alizarin crimson, and over here we're going to make a warm grey. Do you see that? Look, there it is. And if it shows a little too much red, just add, if that little guy doesn't run away from me, you stay there. I'll mop you up. Okay, got it. Oh, go ahead and run. Okay, there's the grey, look. And you could play around, you can make it as warm as you like or as cool as you like. If you want it cooler, you just add a little bit more of this guy that's trying to get away from me. Now if you wanted to make it a little warmer, now we've got a really warm grey. If I just add a little bit of green to it, then you'll see that it's changing into a much cooler grey. And that's what we're going to use. This is what I've got here. I've got basically three petals of this magnolia, just to show you how I applied all the shadows. I'm going to use alizarin crimson and phthalo green. It might be called Windsor green, but it's PG7. And I'm going to put the shadows in, and you can see, and then I'll paint a little background so you can see what's going to really happen. But this is going to go fairly fast. Okay, I know I have a shadow coming down like so. I just take my wet brush and I just break that shadow right up and just brush it down like so. I carry that up there a bit further. I want that shadow just a little bit. There you go. I'm just going to take a tissue and mop that up. Then I'm going to come in and put a shadow. This is a petal that is curling. This petal is curling up. So I'm just going to put a little shadow here, come right in here. This is going to be a hard shadow. This edge is forming a hard shadow right here. And it might just fade away a little bit on that edge. And then this shadow then comes up this way. Brush that round there like that. And this comes round here like so. And this will be a soft edge up here. Now this will have a shadow here, and we're going to have a soft edge here. This petal is rolling this way, so we're going to have a shadow right here. And I'm going to dip my brush in the water and just dry that off and break that edge up just like so. This brush has got to be fairly dry because I don't want the water to run into the part I've already painted. I'm going to leave this area alone till it dries. I'm going to work over here a little bit. And I've got this petal here. Come down here. Like so. And this may be where we could break up some of this edge right here. I might just blot that out. Now you can see I'm not really asking you to do anything that isn't really simple. And we're going to put a shadow. This is cupped like this, so we're going to have a little shadow over here, and I'm going to put it right up here. Gotta watch I don't run into that shadow. Put it up here. Rinse my brush, dry my brush, and quickly destroy that edge as fast as I can go. I'll just leave that there. I don't want to get into there. There's that shadow. It might come over here just a tad. Let's see what we can do. We could put a fairly dark shadow here. Right down here. Where we separated. Don't you run in there. You better not run in there. Isn't that easy? I've got that pedal turning, I've got this pedal turning. I might need just a little bit here to emphasize that pedal there for you. Okay, so basically we've got 3 petals, 1, 2, 3 of our multiple petal flower done in nothing flat. I'm going to warm up these colours with just a little bit of yellow right across there, and you'll see it will warm it up and completely change the look of that petal. And we do the same up here. I don't know if you can see this one, but he's way up there. I've just mixed a little yellow with the blue. I'm going to come in here and paint the whole thing. With large, positive brush strokes. Let that guy dry. Come over here and we'll paint this guy. Got one more to do over here. We'll paint him in. Do note that don't attempt to paint a leaf or any product with a shot. Don't attempt to paint the green completely in one go. I put many layers on. They don't have to be very large, they don't have to be similar. I've got 2 different greens here, but this is what we're going to do. Look how nice that leaf has now appeared. And we've got one there. Let's get that guy. Making it around. Broad brush strokes. I'm going to reach over here and get my hairdryer. Never hold the hairdryer in one position. You'll be asking for some background if you do that. Part of it will get dry, part will be wet, the wet will run into the dry, and you'll have a mess. This might be quite obvious to you, but whatever you do, I've just warmed it with a hairdryer. Don't go back and immediately apply paint. It's dry, it's hot, and it will do, the only thing it can do is evaporate real quickly. We don't want to do that, do we? Why don't we make this leaf up here, or this part of the leaf, we'll make him a little darker. We'll come in here and put that guy right in there. Let's put some, yeah. And we can just put that color right in there. And we'll do likewise on this guy. changing the colour if I can. Going to feather that out. Bring it over here. Give that guy just a little bit of a swipe. I'm trying to change the colour on the leaf as I go. Put some dark up here for a little bit of a shadow. Pull that down here to give it a little bit of form. Come over here and do likewise on this guy. I'm really not concerned too much about the outside edge of the petal, because I know that I'm going to put a background, a dark background, and if I see a little mark on this petal I don't like, or a little shape, I'll just run the background right over it. And I will form the leaf, in other words, with the background. Pick up some of this little sparkle. You have to do this with a very dry brush. Look, I've got a tissue here and I'm drying it like so. And I might be a bit late on this guy. No, we can do that. Let's go this way. Let's come over here and pay some attention to this guy. This guy, I need this guy to be fairly dark right here. I like that, so I'm going to fix it that quick. And soften those edges. Pull that edge down here. Just soften that, wipe it out, wipe it out. I've mixed up my red with my green, and I'm going to really put that really dark right in there. Then I'm going to lose that edge. I'm going to leave it like that and let it dry for just a few moments. While these are drying, let's go ahead and work on these two little leaves. Alright, we'll just put some really dark paint, and we'll run that dark paint right in there. I'm going to drop some yellow right in there like that. And we'll paint this guy with a little yellow on the edge. Drop some really dark stuff in here and just let that bleed down, and same on here. We stick it down there and let the paint flow down. Let's see, we'll change that shape a little bit. We now do likewise on this leaf. Using a palette knife, I'm going to put a couple of veins in here. We can do the same up here. We can roll that guy right up there. And we'll do that one. The next leaf be like this. We just change this guy up a little bit. Okay, working on this leaf, I'm going to pull that dark over there. Just run a little bit of water on the edge, and then we'll introduce some yellow. I'm going to dry this. That's our leaves pretty much taken care of. Now we're going to start on the dreaded background, but it's not so bad. Watch what I do and I think you'll see how simplistic it is. If you'll recall, in a previous lesson I suggested you played with the paint and you experimented with the watercolor. Well, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. So I decided to experiment with the background. big mistake, Jim. In this experiment, the big mistake. I decided that I would paint the background with this stuff. It's called gesso, and it is a ground that oil painters and acrylic painters use. So I applied the gesso to the background. Well, that was my second mistake this year. Well, maybe my third. And there I am with a stiff sheet of paper with lumps and bumps all over it, and I'm supposed to paint a background on it. Well, there's no going back, I said, Jim. You gotta paint it. But another strange thing happened. Maybe, just maybe, my wife added something to the coffee that morning, because suddenly I found myself painting with a bright red paint. Heaven above knows why red. Even the painting knew better than that. What happened is I got this stiff sheet and I'm trying to paint, and it on the gesso, and it becomes blotchy and won't be smooth. Even the paint said, hey, I'm not going to sit and make you a nice clean wash. You got to do it. And it became a big mess. So now I'm going to try to straighten out that mess in the following video. I've got my fingers crossed. This is going to be experiment number 101. I'm using 4 colors: a violet, Payne's grey, Antwerp blue, and phthalo green. I'm going to try to use a different brush for every color so I don't have to rinse it out. So here we go. I'm going to start right up here. I'm just going to dilute the brush with a little water and pull this edge down just a little bit. Then I'm going to change it. We're going to put a dark Payne's grey right here. Then we'll drop in some green. I'm going to come in here really careful now. The gesso isn't helping me much, is it? Oh, you turkey. If that happens to you and you don't want that, all you do is you wipe that out and take a tissue and just mop him up. It's fairly obvious to me right now. One coat is not going to hide all those ghastly mistakes. thin the edge out just a little. Change the color. We'll indicate a petal there of some kind. I don't know if it'll stay, but there it is. This is interesting. Why don't we turn that into something? Maybe a leaf. Let's destroy that top edge. There went the leaf. Wouldn't you know it, I've already forgotten which brush is painting which colour. Oh, I don't mind you running now. Maybe that might be the answer. Get thick paint. Let's try. You might want to blend that a little bit. That's interesting. Tell you what, I'm going to feather this edge out a little bit. I'm going to work over on the left side. Let that, I can come back to that later. I've already abandoned the idea of 4 brushes. I've forgotten. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put some red right here. Yeah, I like what's happening there. Try to keep your edge . Whenever you're painting like this, be sure you don't drag, which I just did a little bit, don't drag the brush across the painting, go round the painting. I can get that fellow out. Wonder what would happen if I did that. You know what, I might just let this dry, and we gotta fix that edge, and we gotta fix that edge, and we'll see what really happens. I had a strong suspicion that I'm going to have to repaint this again. But let's see. Now's the time for you to go get your hair fixed. I'm going to wait for a little while. Where did you go? I told you to just go and get your hair fixed. I waited 2 or 3 hours. You must have got a perm. So in the meantime, I went ahead and started finishing this. All this I finished. Now we're not finished with this. We'll go ahead and finish this, and we'll finish some of this. Let's take this mat off. Put that to one side. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish this part. I've still got a long stretch to go over there, but I think I'll make it. Ooh, right across the paper. It's interesting. I don't know what that is, but I'll guarantee somebody will figure it out and tell me. Hey, it doesn't look too bad. I might just leave it for a few moments and then decide what I'm going to do up there. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and put these guys in. Don't want those guys to forget those guys. It looks pretty good to me. Without a doubt, the dark has really pushed that flower. And it looks really white, but the majority of it is really, when you think about it, at least 50% of this is grey. But it reads white. We got to fix that little bit and fix that little bit. I've got to come in here with some darks and we'll fix that. But that's about it. I'll put a mat around it. I'll play around with it a little bit and then I'll show you what it looks like finished. I think what I've done, I may have turned a pig's ear into a silk purse. Maybe. But never, never give up on a painting. Always try to finish it. It may go through a terrible yucky stage, and didn't we on this one? Wow. But keep plodding away.